Welcome to the big show.
Hi, today we're in Norwalk, Connecticut with Tom at CS Unitec. And we just had a nice little tour around the building and with some employees, and now we're just going to ask him a couple questions. When did you get started?
30 years ago, 1990. I started the company myself and with 2 employees, and now in 2020 we have 31 employees. And we have 3 locations. We have Norwalk, Connecticut as our headquarters and main location, and then we have Houston, Texas, which in 2017 we opened up a warehouse and an office to serve the Southeast, the Southwest, and the West Coast states. I know you have a branch in Sacramento as well as your headquarters in Indiana. So it's more efficient to ship out of Texas for those areas in the West, and more cost effective for the freight expense. So we also have a larger storage warehouse in Upper New England. So 30 years, it's passed very quickly. It seems like yesterday.
Yeah, and I heard you started in your garage in your house.
That's correct. I started this business in 1990. I had, before that, 20 years of experience in construction power tools. So that's how I got started, and you know, I knew what the customers needed, and the idea behind CS Unitec, which was my vision, was to have innovative, high quality, professional power tools. Technical products that we sell for the value, for the efficiency, for the labor saving, the productivity, for lowering the cost to the contractor, and also for safety. We're always looking at all the developments that we can do, you know, to achieve that vision.
Wow. You've done a great job.
Well, thank you. Hopefully it makes sense. I'm still excited about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think our team is passionate about what we sell. And I know you've been a very highly valued strategic partner for us.
You sell a lot of hippos.
You sell a lot of hippos, absolutely. And you actually helped us to get started. If you remember, we've been doing business over 10 years ago, and if you remember at that time how much time it took to mix product between you and I and your customers' feedback, we've been able to reduce the amount of time that it takes to mix, you know, the product in a hippo. So now your customers can mix approximately 60 bags in an hour, which is fantastic. I think we've cut the time in half from what we did 10 years ago.
Yeah,
so I
remember we were in the back. We were pouring true in the back with you guys and Brad. I mean, that was a long time ago. Yeah,
10 years flies, you know, and you've seen the changes.
We absolutely have. What's your favorite part about this industry?
Well, besides the people, I mean, the people in this industry are special in the sense that they're real people, okay? And that's what we want to have, that relationship. We're not just numbers driven. We're driven by an exchange of values, and we want our customers to be satisfied, not only with the quality, but also with the service. And, you know, I enjoy the traveling and meeting people who inspire me. I would have to say, if as a single answer, being inspired by other people who have great ideas or great passions or different ways of looking at things that I can be inspired by, I mean, that's very important to me.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that I've thrived on since I started in 1974 in this industry right out of college. So, you know, I've always learned a lot, and I've always seen the evolution of tools. The tools today are different than the tools of 50 years ago. They operate differently, they're faster for the work that's being done, and methods of working change, materials change, and we have to adapt. And so that's the challenge. How do we adapt to meet the needs of the industry as it is today? So we like that challenge.
Right. So what's next in your pipeline? What's new? What do you have coming out?
Well, what we've done in the pipeline, and you've been helping us evolve the hippo over the years, okay? So let's start with the Hippo, because that's one of the premier products that you sell, that we provide, and it's a strategic product for the flooring contractors throughout the country. It's the standard of the industry. So you know, you've helped us come out with features that made the product better, which made the Hippo more efficient. You know, way back in the beginning, we didn't have a liner, we just had a bucket. Well, we came out with this liner, which is replaceable, easily pops out. And there are a couple of features to that really help the flooring contractor. Number one, you know, it's protecting the canister, the bucket, so they're not replacing an expensive bucket. Number two, they can change from different color materials very quickly by changing the liner, so it's easy to clean. So you helped us do that, and that's, you know, that wasn't available 10 years ago, but it's available, you know, a few years ago, and we came out with it. One of the more important things that we're doing today is, I think you realize, probably know more than I do, they're using more aggregate in the mix. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So the mix is heavier, thicker. And in the past, we started with a 2-speed motor, and now we've progressed to a 3-speed with more power. So we can easily handle, you know, the heavier material with the aggregate that they're using today. So these are some of the you know, things that have evolved over time that between us, and that's why we value the relationship with Runyon, because you bring us these needs from the marketplace. We have to step up to that challenge and bring the product up to what the customer needs. So new motor. And that's only in the last less than a year. Yeah. And you know, I think you can see the difference. 3 speeds, aluminum, you know, gear knob for easily changing gears. So the 2-speed motor went away, more power, more efficient, holds up under the load without getting hot, without straining. Very important.
The 2-speed motors?
No.
They're gone.
No, they're gone. There's no, you know, this does all the jobs of the 2-speed motor and does more, because the 2-speed motor would load up, and a lot of your contractors would be overloading the motor when it was 2 speeds, and we realized that we needed to have 3 gears for the extra torque, especially in that first gear, to mix that heavy material, and then to have a more powerful motor so that it doesn't slow down, it keeps up and mixes the material fast and efficiently. So those are 2 of the innovations that we came out with. The liner, the motor improvement, we came out with this part here. You see it here with the chute, and here it is with a you know, a cover. It's a lid. The customer can choose to have a lid that opens like that, or a chute that controls the dust when they put the material in here. So again, that came about because OSHA's regulations on silica. Okay, and you said, look, what can we do to bring the product up to the needs of the customers? And so we created a lid for the Hippo and a port for hooking up a vacuum for dust extraction. So you know, those are the things that, you know, that you brought to the table that we were able to incorporate in the product, and we want to continue.
Which one do you sell more of, the all-terrain tires or the casters?
Yeah, that's a good question. At my position in the company, you know, it's always been, it changes, you know, and you find the same thing, right? So
I would always say casters, but I have some guys that, why they want that.
They want the rough terrain with the tires. But are they working outside?
That's right.
Okay, so they're working outside, they choose the rough terrain, but there's no, you can't put a finger on it and say, okay, it's 70% tires and 30% casters. It's more like 50-50, right? So we stock them both, and they are changeable, right? They can just disconnect unscrew the legs on this, take off the tires, and put on casters. So yeah, well, probably most of the customers don't know that, unless mother's the necessity of invention. So they'll figure out a way. Even if they don't buy the parts from us, they'll figure out a way to change it, right? So, you know, another innovation that we brought along as a complement to the Hippo was what we call the Pelican Cart. That's this piece of equipment here. And as you know, in the old days, contractors would pour from the Hippo into buckets, pails, and then wheel them out and put them on the floor. Well, now they can put the material from the Hippo, keep the Hippo mixing, and pour the material into the Pelican Cart, and then take this out to the floor, and then pour the material out, and keep the job moving. So constantly mixing, constantly moving materials out to the floor is going to create a faster setup, faster time that they get the job done. So yeah, hopefully it's making more profit for the contractors and helping them be more competitive on their quotes. Yeah, this is another new product that we just introduced recently, and some contractors want a basic, product, less than the Hippo in price, but also more versatile in terms of going up on high-rise buildings, doing balconies. So this is a Pelican Cart with a liner. Okay, so you can actually mix 3 bags in here. It has a lid. The Hippo mixes 5 bags in about 5 minutes. This product here, you can mix up to 3 bags. So it's for smaller jobs and for jobs where they don't want to use the Hippo. And we have a mixing motor mounted on the Pelican. So when they want to use the handheld mixer, they have an Ivanstock portable mixer that they can change paddles or use the same paddle, go to the smaller, 4 and 6 inch paddles, and so that's the Pelican Cart and Pelican mixer. So again, we've listened to the customers to make the changes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's a strong motor. It's got.
How long has this been out?
This has been out a little over a year.
Okay. Was that roll of concrete?
That was a roll of concrete.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a need for all of this. It all depends on the job. We try to make sure we have the right equipment for each part of the job. So yeah, and then they just take off this motor mount here, and then they can use this 2-speed mixer, and we have other hand mixers as well, that they can use for mixing in buckets and smaller work. But the Pelican mixer, the Hippo, and the Pelican transport cart, those are new things, and it's a great family of products. You got Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you, Tom, for your partnership over the years. We appreciate it, and I'm excited that we were able to come out here and visit you.
Well, thank you very much. We're really very happy to have you and to welcome you here. Thank you for coming, and if you have any questions, and we look forward to a long and good relationship and into the future.